What's up, everybody? It is party time, Mom. Look at me, Mom. I'm on TV. Hey, I'm glad you guys are here with me today for another episode of the Chad Prather Show because we are going to visit with one of my very best friends, Reno Collier, from Blue Collar Lore. Let me tell you something. One of the funniest comedians out there on the planet today. He's been on the podcast before, audio only. Today, you're going to get a look at him. I'm not saying that's a great thing, but he's going to sit in the hot seat. We're going to have a good old-fashioned conversation between buddies, and you're going to relate to all of it because he's a super funny guy. So I'm glad you guys are watching. You need a laugh. What you tell me, you could send us messages through social media. You can post in the comment threads, whatever. What we find is that when we just kind of go off the rails a little bit, every now and then we have some serious conversations. Of course, we've had folks from the veteran community, the military community come in, telling their tales, telling their story, and they're the stories of heroes, and we never want to take that lightly. So we're going to continue to do those things and continue to shed light on these important platforms out there because we're Americans and we're patriots and we believe in those who sacrifice for us. But I think that you guys kind of enjoy it when we just go out there and banter a little bit and have a good time and tell our jokes and make fun of each other and really give Party Foul Steve a hard time. I know we like to do that. So send us a message. Let us know. You can email us. You can send us messages. If you need to encourage Steve at watchchad.com, you can send him an email. You can comment down here. You can go over to where you can leave reviews for the podcast, leave us a 5-star rating, and you can tell us everything you love about the podcast because we want to continue giving you the things that you enjoy. What we want is when 6 p.m. Texas time rolls around, you can go over to YouTube. You can kick back. You can screen it through your television. You can watch it on your device, your iPad, your mobile, whatever you want to do. But you can just take an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, and just forget the world exists and hang out with us because let me tell you, we feel like you're a part of the cast here. We feel like you're a part of our crew. And don't forget, we got the folks that make this show possible here at Blaze Media, Mercury Radio Arts. They're great, great folks. You need to be taking advantage of some of the other podcasts and shows that are on Blaze Media. You need to be tuning in to our friend Sarah Gonzalez, The News and Why It Matters. You need to be following her on YouTube, Sarah Gonzalez Unfiltered, Pat Gray Unleash, Jeffy Fisher, Chewing the Fat. All of these great shows that will not only keep you informed, but they will make you laugh. And I tell you, I can't say thank you enough to the Puppet Master Mark, who drives this mothership of Studio 22, Candice, the Queen of the Ethiopians, who is my brains, tells me what to think and often things to say. And I always know when I'm getting in trouble because I can hear her groans over there behind the motherboard there. Give me a shot of you guys over there. What are you kids doing? What are you kids doing? Oh my gosh, there they are.
We're running this show.
Candace?
Yes.
Where do you come up with some of this stuff? Like, you must scour the interwebs.
I do. It takes me a little bit, but it's always fun when you find a really good headline or a really good story. And like, you were gone for the past couple days when we were on a break, and so it was fun. I was getting really excited, and I was like tempted to text you all these headlines that I was finding, but I resisted, and now we got a really good show in front of us. So
I like to be surprised by them. You give them to me, and when you give it, like, there's no prep that goes into when we do those headlines. When we do those off the rail segments, it is totally off the cuff, whatever hits my head. And whoever our guest may be that day, it just comes right out. And I always enjoy doing that. And I think people enjoy doing it too. Get another shot of Candice there. Look at Herbert the silent deer right over her shoulder. Back there beyond the flashing light. Herbert has made it. He is over here. We're here, folks, in Studio 22. We're going to sit down. My buddy Reno Collier. Party Foul Steve is here. And, of course, Hot News Natalie hanging out in Party Foul's Pub. We're going to have a good time today. You hang right there. We're coming at you. It's party time, Mom. We're back. Studio 22, Party Time, Mom. Stay horn, having a good time over in the Party Foul Pub. Stay. Steve, what are you doing?
I was admiring my Glenn Beck cup.
Where'd that come from?
Kitchen.
Why is Glenn Beck invading Studio 22? Every time I turn around, there's something else. Glenn Beck. Coming for you, Beck. Hot News, Natalie. You guys are right on the verge of opening up your Texas gun experience.
So close. It is
so close.
They actually wanted to be open on Monday, this past Monday, but it's just getting, your
It's
CO.
those final details.
It's the final details, and you want to do it right,
Well, I'm ready for you guys to get transitioned so the ATF will go ahead and approve my 2 suppressors.
compressor.
Compressors,
Yeah. I like saying the wrong thing because it ticks off all the gun people. I was putting bullets in my clips. People lose their minds, dude. They can lose their minds over that. But, yeah, my suppressors, I got 2 of them, and then I got my short barrel 300 blackout that's waiting on ATF approval, too.
I can't claim in any way to be a gun expert. My husband certainly is.
Yeah.
His brother, my brother-in-law, certainly. And then Jeff Kyle is the one who gave me my LTC, although he won't claim it.
Yeah.
But
Jeff's one of them. Jeff will get onto if you use the wrong
yes.
terminal. He'll jump on you.
That's why I went there, because I remember I said something like that when I was in the class, and boy, I got reprimanded.
I like messing with people, man. I love it. It's gun nuts. You're gun nuts. It's okay though. You don't have to worry about it, because by next year, about a year and a half, Beto O'Rourke is going to be the president of the United States, and he's going to get all of them back. And it doesn't matter about the terminology. Law-abiding citizens are going to turn everything back in. Sitting in the hot seat, my pal, my best pal over here, Reno Collier.
Good to be here, man. It's fun to be on this side. I watch it, but it's cooler being here.
It is. You were on a podcast episode. We did it in your living room, in your dining room in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. We sat there and we did an audio-only podcast. And
it was fun, man.
We were like under the influence of something that night. I don't know. Maybe it was a good time.
Yeah.
Maybe we were just feeling good. And it was adrenaline or something like that.
For me,
we got the giggles, man.
We did.
We were laughing
It was
about
fun.
stuff.
It was like kids. That was good. After the tournament.
Every time I come there, I stay with you.
Yeah.
And now you came to Texas. You stayed at my house.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I'm like, I love it because it's just like, you're right. It's like we're having a little slumber party or something.
You know what's funny too is seeing like all comics and people who tour and stuff like that have like their home personality and then their road.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I get on the road and I'm like, bah! And then I get home and I'm like, what time is church, honey? Are we? Is the service start at 11? Well, I should probably be up by 10 then. And on the road.
Want to go to Sunday school?
Yeah, I love Sunday school.
I love Sunday school.
Yeah.
We have a new Sunday school teacher.
We do, and
fantastic. Should I make dinner, dear?
Yeah, let's have dinner. I'm gonna go ahead and do the dishes, honey.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a salad. I'm just gonna whip a salad together for us really quick.
I love vegetables.
Oh my gosh, Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians. Do you cook? Are you a cooker?
I'm starting to acquire skills.
I'm noticing in this younger generation, they're not fans of cooking. Not a lot of people out there cooking. I could be wrong. I'm just talking about in my experience, which is limited because I don't do a lot of things with young women. You cook, I cook. You had the best lasagna.
Thanks, buddy.
Golly, the other day. Woo!
It's good, huh?
Ate the whole pan. Reno literally put it back in the refrigerator so I'd quit eating.
No, I wanted you to eat
it. He put it up. It's like, oh, did you want some more? It's already gone.
Yeah.
You ate it all? No, it's in the fridge.
Yeah.
You want me to get it back out? No.
He's being mindful of your keto.
No, there was no keto involved with that.
There's no keto.
Obviously.
You know why people don't cook anymore? I mean, once women started working and joining the workforce,
Here we go.
Then you had to start, duties at home started, shifting. And so now nobody cooks because the guys if he's got to cook, unless they really love to cook, they're like, no, let's just go get something.
Yeah, dude, if you were a Quaker, but like, men, if I want to eat meat and my wife, is like, tonight I'm going to chicken, I'm going to cook the meat. Plus, I want it cooked the way I like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know if it's a control thing, but like I know, like that steak you made last night was freaking perfect.
Was it okay?
It was excellent, man.
A little charred.
Dude, I like it like that.
Oh, yeah,
Burnt Pittsburgh, it burn the outside and leave the middle
That's
red.
The way that was, yeah.
Y'all had steak last night?
Yeah.
Big ribeyes.
I went home, had porridge.
Big.
You had porridge?
I ate borscht.
Yeah, dude. All right, I don't want to get off on this.
Tell the story.
No, because my buddy watches this. But like, my dude, I'm sorry.
Tell the story.
So
Beet soup.
I go to my buddy's house. He lives in Myrtle Beach, and he watches this, dude. Tell your family to leave the room. The mom was from Ukraine, and they live in this really nice house, but she cooks Ukrainian food, and it was like it's just different. Like they cook like they're still there, and I'm like, we're here. There's a grocery store. Like I don't want potatoes and rice and beets in a soup. You know what I mean? Like it was 110. It's like, we're having soup. I'm like, I'm not having soup. I'm not burning the roof of my. Yeah, we're at the beach. And she's the sweetest, kindest lady. And was so proud and my wife Sandy is just so. She's like the perfect guest. She's like, this is delicious. I'm like, I don't even know what this is. Like, I feel like I waited in line like in Moscow, and I don't want to eat this. Like I want them to make me a burger.
That's it. No soup for you.
No soup for you. We sent McDonald's over there so you guys would figure this out. Stop. I don't want to eat like I work too hard.
Yeah. Borscht.
I mean, I grew up my family's from West Virginia, and we have ramps. Which I don't even know. You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's basically a weed that grows out in your yard, and it stinks up your house. And people are like, what is this, a third world country? I'm like, nah, it's West Virginia. It's ramps. But like my mom, my dear mother, I'm sorry, I'm hopped up on coffee, but my dear mother grew up in this small town in West Virginia, grew up, went back to school throughout her life, got her PhD, became an author, wrote, has really worked hard for everything. And we grew up, my grandmother wouldn't even let him cook these ramps. So she comes to visit me when I live in LA, and we go to the Getty Museum. And my mom has gotten her PhD in art history and architectural design. She wanted to see all these paintings. I don't even know what the hell's going on. There's this fat naked chicks, and then there's like a Revolutionary War, whatever. I'm like, all right, let's get to the dinner and wine, So they have a restaurant in there, and this dude comes out. My poor mom's all dressed up. She has a scarf on. She's very distinguished, sitting there. And the guy comes out, and he goes, well, today the compliment of the chef is a mixture of rice and ramp. And my mom went from like distinguished to West Virginia. She goes, what did you say? And he goes, it's a ramp. It's from Appalachia. It's a very seasonal dish. She goes, a ramp grows in my backyard. She's like, damn it. I went all the way to California and you're serving me ramps. I got a scarf on. Freaking Pepe Le Pew comes out with it's a ramp. She's like, the grows in my yard. Can you say that?
Yeah, you said it.
All right, good.
We're not talking truffles here.
No, we're talking ramps. It's like it's like half onion, half garlic. You don't know what it is?
Nope. Never
It's
had
because
that.
you probably hit it with a lawnmower, or it may not even grow here. But it's the real thing. And it became real chic, like in New York and LA, for people to cook with ramps. And there's some dude in his backyard like, man, I've been selling this stuff to this dumbass in New York City.
Is it like a wild onion?
Yeah,
or something?
kind of.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I didn't know what it was called.
Yeah, it's a ramp.
Yeah, you can smoke it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, you can smoke it.
Your farts smell like chicken noodle soup, but yeah, it's good. It gives you the worst gas you've ever had in your
I would
life.
love to have a little bit of a seared steak last night.
That's okay. That's okay.
You could
I'll make you one.
could have invited.
I'll make you one.
They were big old fat
yeah,
tomahawk steaks.
They were big old bone-in ribeyes we got, and Jade doesn't. Jade likes the little tenderloin fillets, which I do too. That's typically what we do. Because when I eat steak, I don't eat a lot of steak. I don't eat a lot of big red meat or anything like that. But when I do, it's a good cut, right? And
that was delicious.
Like last night's was I Pittsburghed it, good on those grill grates. Man, those grill grates are awesome on the big green egg. I love those grill grates. They leave the prettiest marks on there.
Yeah. He had perfect diamonds.
Perfect diamonds, boy.
Yeah.
Sounds like it was really good.
It was
amazing. Fun. It was the best meal I've ever had,
It was
Steve.
great.
It was good. We had baked potatoes and salad, and we grilled some corn on the cob. It was fantastic.
Wow.
That was good.
Sounds like a big party.
We sat on
Friends
my new
come
deck.
over too?
Yeah, it was all. Chad said all of his friends were there.
Oh,
Gosh.
not employees.
He said, "This is amazing. All the people I care about are in one
That
room."
I truly
was
love are
weird,
all
Steve.
under
You should've
this
been there.
roof right now.
Dang.
You were invited. It was Steve.
Let them eat cake.
I must have missed that text message, email, phone call,
I'm sorry.
We'll do it again sometime.
or wave across the yard.
Well, someday we'll do it again. The Reno Collier, renocollier.net.com was taken.
Some jackass in China. My thing it dropped for like 10 seconds. Like it didn't renew in time. Dropped, and somebody in China has it, and I can't have .com
mess.
back. And like
That's
they
a
want.
mess.
There's a program that they run that constantly checks when stuff drops off, and it automatically buys it.
Yeah,
And so if you ever let your deal, it's gone like that quick.
I did. Now I'm a .net.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's lame. That's lame.
But it works. It tells people where you're going to be.
Yeah, it's good if you can get on it.
I'll sell it back to you.
Do you have it?
So we've been doing this thing. Of course, you did blue collar for a long time. You did blue collar second generation. You opened for Larry the Cable Guy forever.
Like 10 years.
Yeah. And you did a bunch of stuff with him and Ron as well, and Foxworthy and those guys, and obviously the blue collar thing. And now you're out doing your own thing. You got a record that's out, album. I don't even know what they call them these days.
I call it an album, but
I
it's
call
download.
it an album.
Yeah, it's
you
not.
download. It's monkey. And let me tell you, we talked about this because it had just dropped the last time you were on the show, and that's been about a year ago. And it just dropped. Monkey, dude. What's the funniest dadgum thing? I love it when you're like, okay, like you're the first half of the album, you're like totally clean, and then you're like, okay, I'm gonna really church it up now.
I can't take it, man.
I know.
Like I can't. I can stay clean. Like they're like, make sure it's real clean. I'm like, yeah. I got it. And I made it like 35 minutes of it, and then it's like all these words in my head are like, just say it. You know, and I'm like thinking like, I gotta say it. And I did. And then so when you buy the album on iTunes, it's like clean. Then he's expletive, explicit.
The second half of the album's all the explicit, the E's, the little black E's.
Yeah.
But it's not
dirty. I mean, I don't use the Lord's name in vain or anything like that. And I don't even drop F-bombs on it.
Nah.
But just,
No, but that internal Tourette's got you. Say it,
does.
say it, say it.
Like, I can only be good. I'm nice, but I'm not, like, I'll open the door for you, but if you don't say thank you, I'll slam it and try to catch your foot in it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm nice in the beginning.
You have people all the time, and when it comes to comedy, people will abuse almost their right to get on stage and just use expletives for the sake of using expletives. We've talked about this with numerous comics about how you shouldn't use F-bombs as a comma or even as a punchline. It's like, okay, if you incorporate that into your comedy, it doesn't offend me. I know it offends most of the people out there, but it doesn't offend me if you're using it strategically and right and things like that. But the language thing doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
As it, because again, it's relative to so many people.
See, for me, my jokes are clean. My mouth is dirty. Like the stuff I write isn't dirty, but for some reason, instinctually, and it's damn in hell. It's not even, you know. And I think it's weird the stuff that they claim is explicit, and then, you know what I mean? Like they'll go, oh, he said damn it in there, so that's explicit. But then they have a commercial that's 10 times dirtier than anything I said. It's just it's a pick and choose.
Or you're watching NCIS or something, and you're hearing worse on that. Candice, see, people get on us and they're like, "Oh, see, you're cuss, you cuss on the podcast." And we're like, we really don't. Like every now and then we might drop something, or a guest might drop something, because I'm never going to tell anybody not to, because I want you to be you and I'll be me. But see, there's certain words that Candace has to bleep out that you probably use at home. Right. People that are watching and listen to this. But because of the rules, there's certain words that you just have got to bleep out. And people are like, well, what did he just say right there? Yeah. He must have said something really, really bad. Party time, Mom. And that's why, we get in trouble. And they're not necessarily bad words.
My whole family, like when I was a kid, before going into church, like as a little kid, my mom would that little fat on the back of your arm that hurts, and she'd grab me before I even did anything. And she's like, when we go in there, you're going to listen to everything that man says. When we stand up, you stand up. When they sing a song, you sing a song. When they take the kids into Sunday school, you go with them and you come right back to your seat. And if you fool around one time, I will effing kill you. Like my whole family's like tweaked. Like there's no.
I can remember, turn this off, Mom, hit pause. But I can remember you'd go to church, right? And your parents would just be in this big old fight in the car. Yeah. And you're on the way to church, and they're like, you know what? And you're scum, and your mother is scum, and your sister, she's a and let me tell you, if she ever calls out here again, I'm leaving. I'm getting an apartment. I'm taking the kids. Blah, 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 blah. The door slams. Boom. How are you, Brother Earl?
Forgiveness.
It's good to see you. Yes. Amen. Yeah. Bless you. Bless you.
It's church. It's your church personality and your home personality.
I know. It's like on the road personality and home personality.
But church is like the funniest, because church laugh is the greatest thing in the world, because you're not supposed to be laughing. So like, it's that uncontrollable, like, oh, like, oh, I'm not allowed to laugh, so you can't, like my wife is 10 years older than me, right? and we were sitting in church, and there's this little old lady, Lois, who has passed away, loved her to death, and she was sitting in front of us, and we were engaged. And right before the service starts, she turns around, and she's like, I heard you're getting married. And I was like, yes, ma'am. And she goes, have you set a date? And I was like, well, we're going to wait till after the baby's born. And the look on her face, it's just like, because my wife's 55, she's like, oh, dear God. You know, Sandy's like, stop it, you jackass. You know what I mean? Like, but I can be nice, but I can't. It's hard to differentiate the building I'm in to how I'm going to.
It's like when you go to a funeral.
Yeah.
And that's the worst. Did you see the guy in Ireland who recorded his voice and they put it in the coffin? And they put him down in the hole, and all of a sudden he's like, hey, where the F am I? Knock, 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 knock. Somebody let me out of here. It's dark in here.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Well, the thing is, I believe when you die, your soul goes to heaven. I mean, it's just a body. Like, it's not. And if we really believe what, like in my church, I'm like, if we really believe what we say we believe, what are you worried about?
Yeah.
When someone dies, you're concerned. You're going to miss them. But it's kind of selfish to be like, oh, you know.
Yeah, like you're feeling sorry for you.
Who's going to pay the bills now? You know, and it's
you're
like,
feeling
what is
sorry
wrong?
for you.
Yeah, you feel bad because you're going to miss the person. But in my belief,
Hey,
they're better
funerals
off.
are for the living. They're not for the dead.
They really are. And our dear friend Keith Maddox passed away after his battle with cancer. And Keith Maddox owned American Hat Company. And so, you know, he was so well liked, so well known, and people from all over the Western world. And just the guy was an icon. And he passed away back first of last month, and then they waited 3 weeks to have the memorial service, and they did it in Fort Worth. And Steve and I were there, and I mean, it was a party.
Yeah.
I mean, they set up the drinks and the buffet in the back of the arena deal, and about 800 people came from all over the country. It was just a beautiful ceremony. And we had a party because that's exactly
what he wanted.
What he would have done. That's what he would have
wanted.
wanted. It's the kind of person he was. It represented him well. So.
You know what's weird, though, is like, and I don't know why I'm getting off on this, but have you ever been to somebody's funeral? And I know we're not supposed to judge, but been at somebody's funeral and the minister's like, you know what? They're in a better place now. And I'm like, if that's in heaven, there is no rules.
No way.
Like there's no
accountability for anything.
If he's there, I'm in. Like I don't even have to feel guilty about anything I've ever done because I've hung out with that dude in
I think
bars
that's
and
called
been to
preaching them into heaven.
Yeah.
Like if you notice that they all accepted Christ at some point in time in their life. Yeah, he was 6. And he never cared after that.
I remember his baptism, and then there was that middle part where he was in prison for Yeah, but it's still, he's in a better place. Is he?
Is he? Are we sure?
If you're reading that same book you're reading out of now, that dude is on fire.
Have you ever,
You know what? I wish I had some good to say about this guy, but just wasn't there. There's his wife. She's still got a black eye from last week before he died.
She always hated his ass. And these kids, they haven't been around till they found out about the will. What the hell are we doing here? That's when you open the bar.
And this one over here, 27 years old. He never claimed it was his.
Yeah, look at the choir. He slept with half them. Why are we here right now?
2 of you are pregnant.
Yeah, that's why they wear that long thing. You can't see the baby bumps. Anyway.
Oh, that's fun. I loved that guy, though.
Yeah,
Ralph was a mess. He was a mess.
I love it when people can still be funny even when they're gone. Have you ever seen the funny tombstones?
Yeah.
See, I told you I didn't feel good. Like, that's awesome. Like, just to read that in a cemetery is brilliant. I
I saw
love
a meme yesterday where this lady had a cookie recipe on the back of the tombstone, and it was the one who said, she always said, if you want my recipe, it's over my dead body.
Yeah.
So they put it on the
Oh,
tombstone.
that's great. You know, I have an aunt, the same one that used to make the ramps in West Virginia, who she
And
gave.
we're back.
And we're back to ramps. I'm going to bring it back to ramp. She made these rolls, right? And they were the greatest rolls. I mean, I'd eat a pan of them. They were the best freaking rolls I've ever had. And people would ask her for the recipe, and she'd give them the recipe, and they'd come out all jacked up. My mom tried to make them, all jacked up. My aunt tried to make them, they were all jacked up. And until she died, we found the recipe. She was putting sugar in it, but she'd give people the wrong recipes, so they couldn't make.
They make nasty.
So you'd still come to her house to get she wanted the family around, so she'd give the.
She ain't no fool.
No.
She's a liar.
I know. I live with somebody that does that exact same thing almost.
Really?
I'm not going to say who it is, but I'm just saying. You might not want to take a recipe that she gives you.
You live with 2 human beings.
Tony.
One of them's 16.
Yeah, name dropping.
Oh, you in
If she
trouble.
gives you her like corn casserole recipe or this or that, don't believe it.
That's some redneck stuff right there, man.
It is.
Dude, Sandy takes dishes to restaurants. She takes our dishes from our house to a restaurant. They make the food, put it in her dish. She acts like she cooks it.
She acts like she cooks it. We were talking about that this weekend at your place.
Yeah.
Like she comes back like she made it.
People come over and they're like, "Oh my, this is such a beautiful dinner." She dropped her dishes off at the restaurant and they stuck the food in it, and it looks like she worked all day cooking and she was drinking wine at the pool all
Have
day.
to make that note.
Yeah,
That is a great idea.
I'm not going to bring this up because he told me not to. But when we get out of here and we're not on camera anymore, he told me the funniest freaking story the other day on the way to the airport in Nashville. We can't talk about it.
You can't do that.
No, we'll tell you later. It's the funniest thing.
I'll tell it. But I'm gonna because I was thinking about it after I told you.
Yeah. You got a way to tell it?
Yeah.
He got a phone call from someone.
Yeah.
And they were
He wasn't
telling
gonna
them
start
about
with that.
Okay,
they
here-
were
here's
telling
a-
them about a family member
From somebody else's family
who was older.
There's no way I can get out of this.
Who was older.
Yeah. There was
The wife owned a bar.
There's a woman who owned a bar in a state I'm not going to mention, a small bar in a town of like 600 or 700 people.
That's
all right?
your family member.
She and her husband.
we don't know that.
We don't know that. We don't know who
Okay.
it is. She owned a bar, and there's like 700 people in the town. She and her husband had it. They're cleaning the bar up or whatever, and the husband goes, "I'm gonna take the garbage out." It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. Takes the garbage out, shuts the door, whatever is outside. She keeps cleaning up, does all the paperwork and everything, and he's not there. And she's like, "Well, he must have gone to get something to eat and bring it to the house or whatever." So I don't know. She looks around the parking lot, doesn't see him, whatever. Gets in her car, goes home. Gets home, phone rings. Hello? It's the hospital. And they're like, "Hey, such and such, your husband has had a major heart attack. He is in bad shape." And she's like, "Oh my God, he must have been taking the trash out and he had it by the dumpster." And they were like, "No," all these people know each other. It's a small town. And he goes, "No, we didn't get him there." And she's like, "Where'd you get him?" And they're like, "Well, at this apartment complex." There's only one apartment complex, and one of the waitresses worked at the apartment complex, and she had thought that there might be something. And she's like, "So what do you want me to do?" And they're like, "Well, we've got him hooked up. He's in intensive care." And she goes, "Pull the plug." And they're like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, pull it." And they're like, "We can't do that over the phone." She goes, "I'll be there in a minute." She drove down, and they said, your name's on. She goes, "Pull it." Bye-bye.
Straight murdered his ass.
That's a funeral you want to go to.
Oh man!
Yeah.
Hey,
I don't know these.
Jay said to one of our sons last night, and that's why you sleep with only one woman.
That's right. She did.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yep.
Flatlined his ass.
Yeah.
He's out.
Yeah.
Bang.
He was in the apartment with the waitress when the
EMTs got to him. Oh, it's
Probably in
beautiful.
the act.
probably.
That's what gave him a heart attack.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
know.
for
I don't
sure.
know these people, but I'm sure.
I mean, who knows how he died?
Yeah, I
really.
mean,
yeah.
Read that
Good
story on a newspaper.
That wife got the final say.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
Whew, Reno, I love being with you.
Don't mess
love
with
being
Mrs.
with you.
Collier.
No. I
Let me
mean,
tell you.
it wouldn't matter. It's
What?
not my family, but yeah,
No, I
whoever's
know.
family that
we don't know
was,
his family.
we don't know
It
who it
was
was.
somewhere
Oh, yeah.
out there. We read it like in a
Totally.
Gazette.
It's a weird
Somewhere.
thing in a bathroom and a truck stop on the
Oh
wall.
my gosh.
A lot of.
Man. We're doing the Freedom to Laugh tour right now. Freedom to Laugh comedy tour. You, Brian Hayner, Michael Loftus,
Yeah.
me. What do you think? Think he's going to make it? Are we going to be all right with this?
I think we are,
I
man.
think we are. It's kind of slow going because we're doing these clubs.
It's bumps. I mean,
Yeah.
just being blatantly honest. We're doing these Tuesday night shows. It's hard to get a lot of people, and we're getting great. Tonight's gonna
Getting
be
great
packed
crowds.
up. Yeah.
Great crowds.
But it's we're in the beginning stages. The good thing is we're getting the kinks out. So when we start, because we already have all these theaters booked and all this other stuff.
2020 and
yeah.
stuff, yeah.
So well, the show is going to be so tight by the time we get there that it's just wham, 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 wham. You know what I mean?
It's like Loftus says, and y'all see him on another episode, but you ought to be just hitting a home run derby.
Yeah.
Because you're up there doing, it's like bang, 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 and you're doing it with everybody.
And the show from the beginning to the end is just, I mean, people are like the other night, standing ovation, just bent over, crying, laughing, and staggering around. I mean, it's fun.
It is fun. I like doing it because I like doing it with you guys.
Yeah.
I love the audience. I love the crowd. But, when you go out and you do shows for so long and you're doing it, you're just you know, out there on stage doing it. That's fun. But being able to share it and then to come out and laugh.
Yeah.
The guys that are out there, I love being able to do that because now I'm getting to enjoy the show too.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's fast, and every comic on there is so strong. Like you gotta bring it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. There's no. I mean, it's just from the beginning to the end, man.
Yeah, freedomtolaughtour.com.
Yeah,
good
it's
stuff.
Good. Yeah, man.
And those tickets have sold really well.
Yeah. Excuse me.
California. You just puke on yourself?
No, just a little burp.
Puke on, you just puke
I have
on
acid reflux. It's a disease. You're not supposed to make fun of people that have diseases.
I'm on the spectrum. I'm on the reflux spectrum.
I'm very ill. I'm extremely ill.
I couldn't quit coughing. You were sleeping at my house last night. I didn't sleep for anything last night. And Jade was sniffing and snoring because she's got the allergy stuff going on. And then I couldn't quit coughing last night. And she goes, it's GERD. It's GERD. Nurse practitioner, gastroesophageal reflux.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's heartburn, right? Whatever. And so she goes and gets me the pills that I take, and I'm taking. And I think I slept the rest of the night. At least I wasn't.
They have
coughing.
to name every GERD.
GERD.
It always has to ED.
Oh.
Yeah.
Your Patrick doesn't work.
ED.
Yeah.
I have Ed.
Are you struggling with PDQRP? I don't know. Now I am. What is that?
Candace, will you go get those boys out of the lobby? Please. They just got here. Yeah, I know. And it's like I'm suffering from Ed. No, not ED. It was literally my neighbor Ed.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy. Anyway, we're having fun though. I'm enjoying doing it. It's a good time.
It is fun, man.
And trading stories and having,
That's my
experience.
favorent part.
And mine too.
I love the show. You can tell that we're having fun together, but like the trap, I don't know. I went through a time, like the first 4 years I did stand-up, I didn't have an apartment. I lived out of my car.
Just lived out of the car.
Yeah, and I traveled around all my stuff. I was 20-something. All my stuff's in the back seat, and I'm going from hotel to club. I'd work like in Lubbock, Texas on a weekend and then have 2 days to get to Myrtle Beach. And then the next, then I'm up in Virginia. And it was like just driving, and it was the greatest time in the world. And on the road, you have to be creative on how to have fun.
Yeah.
But sitting around talking and telling stories, especially guys who have been doing stuff, the stories are better.
Yeah.
It's more fun.
It is. And again, as a Johnny come lately into the world of comedy, because again, I always say, I still don't even think of myself as a comedian. I'm just a storyteller and a humorist, and I'm not a joke teller.
Yeah.
And I get around these guys, but I love the craft of comedy and being able to be around these guys who've done it for a long, long time. It's an educational experience, but it's like almost like a hobby fulfillment to me.
Yeah.
Because I can hear these things, and it's funny, the networking community of comedians out there, because all these people who are household names, you guys have worked with them. You've hung with them, you've rolled the road with them and done these things, and it's fun hearing those stories.
Yeah.
I mean, you've told me all the Dan Whitney, Larry the Cable Guy, and Foxworthy and Ingval and Ron White, and all, just the list goes on.
What's like with those guys? Ron's different.
Yeah.
But being
Ron
out,
is different.
Ron is not. Ron is I mean, he's the funniest dude. He's the funniest storyteller I know. But like, we'd be out on a bus, like with Cable Guy and my friends. There's like 20,000 people at the show, and they're like, "Oh my God, we're getting on a tour bus." They'd leave their wives at home. They're like, "We're gonna rage," and then they get on the bus, and there's like dip cups and pizza boxes. They're like, "This sucks." Like the bus is nice, but what I saw like Motley Crue behind the music. Let's rip this, and I'm like, dude, it's a bunch of fat married guys. Like, you want to watch TV?
Where's Ozzy Osbourne to snort the ants off the sidewalk by the hotel
off a popsicle
pool?
stick? Yeah, it's like, are there girls out here? Well, that one girl that brings our food. It's like what the hell?
Living the dream.
Yeah,
Never been sexier.
Yeah.
People really do have this idea of life out on the road, like it's some kind of rock star life. And as much as I've done on the road the last several years, I don't know how those rock star guys even get the energy to go out and do. That's why they all do it when they're young, and then they get older and they're married, and they're like the geriatrics.
Yeah, but when they're like 45, they look like they're 90.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When the midnight cries, you cried more. They're doing an Indian casino somewhere. And
I'm
it's
gonna rock
please,
and roll all night.
Yeah. Welcome to the
Party.
stage, Toto. And they're like,
Party every day.
We come around here with the thing, with the whole deal, with the people, and they're going to sing some songs for you folks.
I'm gonna pull off your head and on your neck. Sure you are, Uncle Ted.
yeah. Once again, this tour is brought to you by Depends.
GetRoman.com
What
for
are
all
the
your
Rolling
ED
Stones?
problems.
The Rolling Stones are like 100.
Yeah.
And Mick Jagger had a heart attack, and they're going back on tour.
They're going back out there.
Like,
He's
that
still,
dude's a beast.
yeah, still going at it. I mean, how much I heard something years ago that said like Bruce Springsteen lost on average 13 pounds every show.
Wow.
13 pounds.
His shows are like 9 hours
they're
long.
forever.
though.
Yeah, it's like they're 2 days.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, they said that on average he was losing like 10 to 13 pounds every show, and that's how much he was just sweating out. And
He sounds like he's taking a deuce while he's singing it.
do you know he's never had a #1 song?
I don't get him.
Yeah.
I know people come unglued on me. I'm like, I don't get Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, like there's a few of the commercialized songs, like with Born in the USA.
That's not number one. That never went number one.
Never. Bruce
Think about it, he has
Springsteen's never
dozens
had
and
a
dozens
#1
in the
hit.
top 10 though. So is that better than having one number one?
Well, I mean, it's Bruce Springsteen. There's no threat of him having just one. I mean, you would think that somebody like, but I mean, you think about people who've had multiple #1 songs. Bruce Springsteen's never had a #1 song.
Yeah.
And somebody may correct me if I'm wrong on that.
I like the Christmas when he
Do
does
it
the
right
Christmas
now.
stuff.
Somebody will correct you. I promise. If you're wrong, they will correct you.
Google it.
ever seen a one-legged pony running wild
It just sounds like he's making up random stuff.
seen a one-armed man, then you seen me.
Yeah.
Like, what does that even mean?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you seen me.
It's like Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love them, but I have no idea what they're talking
No,
about.
nobody does. That's like I've always said. Like, people are like, man, you need to write more songs. And I'm like, well, I need like a story. And they're like, no, you don't.
No, apparently you don't.
You just come up with whatever. Random.
Yeah. Shoe, craft cheese, hamburger.
Mayonnaise!
Yeah. Dude. Steve, I had this thing when I was out with the blue collar guys. Like, they had catchphrases. You know, people yelling, get her done, and here's your sign, and all that. So I thought it'd be funny. I was like, I'm going to come up with one, but I'm just going to yell out random stuff after jokes to see what catches on. And like I'd tell a joke, and then I'd be like, slap some ham on that thing. And I just look around at everybody, and there's nothing, you know. And I like mayonnaise. Come on, y'all.
Mayonnaise!
Mayonnaise.
That's so funny. Party time, Mom.
Yeah.
That's what we were talking about yesterday.
Party
I said,
time, Mom's a good one.
Yeah, people are always talking about, because we got it on the T-shirts and stuff. You can go to shopblazemedia.com /Chad. But you could go to, I'm not even sure if that's the website, but yeah. But you can go, like, if you don't watch the show and you don't know what party time mom means, like I never stay horned anymore, Natalie, because you do it a lot. But people are always leaving us reviews about staying horned.
Yeah.
They're always on the review page. And by the way, go leave a 5-star review for us. And they're always like, stay horned.
Yeah.
So obviously it caught on. The stay horned thing was, Natalie and I, we would always, on Monday, we'd be doing the news. And somebody sent a message one day and says, you guys are just horned. Y'all just need to stay horned with each other.
She said it's so obvious Chad is horned for her. He just needs to take her backstage and do it so you guys can start to be funny.
Yeah.
And
That
she just kept saying
sounds
horned.
like a little kid, like church teacher.
Yeah.
Like the Lord will save you from being horned. Doesn't it sound
Like
like?
when you're a kid, you flip the bird, but you're using your pointer finger.
Yeah,
yeah.
You
Or
think
this
you're
one-
being
This
so
one.
dirty.
It took me 2 weeks
This
to
one.
get that one finger up. Like, it's not the middle one. Come on, man. You horned?
Stay horned, mama.
Stay horned.
Party time horned, mama.
Somebody's watching it and they're thinking we're flipping
I
everybody
know.
off.
Yeah.
We're not. We're using the wrong finger.
Yeah, you're explaining that because that's your mama. I like that T-shirt Steve's wearing. Love y'all. God bless Poke.
Yeah, you have to get that at chadprather.com.
Watch Chad.com or
that's it.
chadprather.com. You can get that shirt. Love y'all. God bless. Poke. People say, why did it say Facebook Poke? Because it's called a trademarked entity. You cannot use the word Facebook on the merchandise that I'm selling.
And there's girl shirts and guy shirts on there.
Girl shirts, guy shirts, tanks. There's a Studio 22 with Herbert the Silent Deer on one of them. That's my favorite shirt. The one with Herbert the Silent Deer on
We
there.
have so many places for them to go to buy shirts.
There really is. PartyFoulNation.com. Can't go to RenoCollier.net.
Yeah, you can go to RenoCollier.com if you want to buy Chinese food or whatever they got. The guy that bought my thing.
Puppet Master Mark, show that shot of you sitting there at the control right there. Can you see Herbert? Can you see him over there?
Yeah, he's hiding back there in the corner.
He's hiding back there.
Yeah.
He's got that deer in the headlights look. It's the face he was making when the truck hit him. That's exactly right, man. Mighty Heaton's hanging over the fireplace. I don't know if you can see Mighty Heaton hanging. There he is. Look at him, Mighty Heaton. Party Foul Steve's up there in the Party Foul Pub. Hot News Natalie. Man, we got to get out of here. Come see us. Go to freedomtolaughtour.com. Check Reno out, too, because he's doing his thing. RenoCollier.net has his tour dates on there, and he's bouncing back and forth across it. You can hear him on the Bob and Tom Show if you're up in the Midwest. Everybody's big Bob and Tom fans.
Yeah, every Tuesday.
Every Tuesday, you're on
There's
there.
Michael Loftus and Brian Hayner.
Here they come. The boys
Is
are
it
here.
Bob
We're
and
going to get them on
Tom,
here
or
in a
is it
second.
Bob and Tom?
It's Bob and Tom.
It's
Okay,
Bob,
'cause I was
Tom,
there-
and like
I
12
thought it was
other
one
freaking
guy and his
people.
nickname
and
was
Tom.
Bobbin. You know,
Bob
like,
and
hey, that's
Tom.
Bob and Tom.
Yeah, Bob and Tom. I knew that guy. $20 is $20.
That's like
Right.
that's I think I'd say this. My mom's friends, the two fellas that lived together, their names were Bob and Neil, and I was like, is that their name or is that what they?
Bob and Neil. Bob and Neil. Bob and Tom.
There's Bob and Neil. You guys kneeling and bobbing.
It was both.
All right, I meant that in a good
Natalie,
Christian
don't
way.
die on us. Hey, we'll find you in an apartment complex and pull the plug.
I know my mom's like, don't talk about them that way. They're just like us. I'm like, well, a little different, but yeah, pretty much.
They have to see the humor in
We
that.
both have
and
Wranglers.
If they're not,
These guys were They're hysterical.
they're
they were
not
really
human if
cool.
they don't see the humor.
They came to see me. I was with Larry the Cable Guy, and they came to the show. These guys were freaking awesome, and they'd gone out and gotten outfits. Like they had like a cowboy shirt on, like yours, that were tucked in with Wranglers and a belt buckle and everything. And they were sitting, they were in line, and they were like, "Look at us, look at us." And I'm like, "Man, thanks for coming. You want to meet Cable Guy?" They're like, "Screw Cable Guy. We came here to see you." And I was like, "Come here, hug you, Bob.
Yeah.
I love you."
Oh, I'm hung up in your tassels.
Yeah, no, dude, it was just cool that they were trying so hard.
They're on
to-
the cover of
to
a
have
Shepherd's
fun with
magazine.
My mom. Yeah,
They
it looked
dress
like
like
Beto on
Chad.
the front of. They just like Chad.
Sweet God.
Moo moo, Buckaroo.
Hey, it gets lonely out on the prairie. Have you ever heard Willie Nelson's song, Cowboys Are Frequently Secretly Fond of Each Other?
Yes.
Cowboys are frequently secretly fond of each other. That's a great song. If you never heard
Willie
it,
Nelson
download
is hysterical.
it. He really is.
Did you ever hear him tell that joke about the cowboy trying to get to the ranch on time?
I don't know.
So he goes, there's this cowboy, and he gets hired to run this ranch, but they were like, you have to be there by 5 a.m. or you're out. And the guy's like, I got it. He gets on his horse, and he has to ride forever. And he's going across the prairie, and he goes down through the woods, and he goes down by the creek, and he hits the side of a tree, and it rips his arm off. And he's like, and he gets off the horse and he picks his arm up and he starts pulling the string out of his shirt and he sews his arm back on. And he goes riding, and at 10 till 5, he pulls up in front of the ranch, and the ranch is like, you made it, buddy. You got the job. And he's like, yeah. And he goes, not only do you get the job, you're 10 minutes early. I'm going to pay you twice as much as I promised you I was. And the cowboy's like, all right. It's so stupid. But Willie smokes a lot of weed. I thought it was funny.
What'd you say? The worst words you can ever hear after a blowjob?
Hey, man, I ain't really Willie Nelson.
All right, with that, we got to get out of here. FreedomToLaughTour.com, RenoCollier.net. Hey, go leave us a 5-star rating and review. That's all we take. That's all we take is 5 stars. If you don't like the show, don't watch the show, don't listen to the show. But if you love it, and I know you do, tell all your friends about it. Come out and see us on the road. You can go to my website, watchchad.com. Got all the dates. Got all the dates on there. So come out and hang out with us. Hot news, Natalie. The Texas gun experience is about to open up.
Yes. It's on my back.
Yes.
Shot.
Boom. There it is. Well, you go to it. You'll find it. Party Foul Steve. You can go to partyfoulnation.com. Puppet Master Mark Candice, the queen of the Ethiopians. We're going to see you again tomorrow night. We love y'all. God bless. Bye.